Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. First of all, please allow me to express my grateful for watching this video. My name is Atih SDGs. I am a lecturer at Economic Study Program Unisba, West Java Province, Indonesia. In this opportunity, I will present part of my research with title Principles of Islamic Sustainable Development in Indonesia, which is submitted to Social and Humaniora Research Symposium or SORES 2020 that is organized by Universitas Islam Bandung. My presentation consists of 5 sections, that is introduction, literature review, methods, research and discussion, and conclusion. We will start with the introduction. Implementation of sustainable development, particularly the Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs, that becomes a main development strategy of the United Nations, necessitates a set of clear and concrete principles. So, is Islamic sustainable development, especially when 42 out of the 193 member countries of the United Nations are Muslim countries. Like other member countries, they are obligated to attain the 17 goals of the SDGs, and logically, as Muslim countries, they need to undertake the implementation of the SDGs in an Islamic way. Indonesia, as a Muslim country, of course, has made a strong commitment in achieving the SDGs by specifically preparing a national action plan for SDGs to accompany the National Midterm Development Plan or RPJMN. The 2016 until 2019 National Action Plan SDGs has been implemented, and now Indonesia is currently preparing the 2020 until 2024 National Action Plan for SDGs. It is interesting to explore how the plan of Indonesia in the future related to SDGs. This paper attempts to attain these two objectives. Firstly, it attempts to propose an establishment of a set of principles of Islamic development, and secondly, using these principles to critically analyze the principle of SDGs in the largest Muslim majority country, Indonesia, with special reference to the principle of National Action Plan for SDGs. About literature review, we know that there are several previous scholars who elaborate about Islamic sustainable development. They elaborated with different ways. Firstly, they define it directly referring to the existence of definition. Secondly, they incorporated spiritual aspect as a pillar. And thirdly, they mention Islamic teaching as a feature for every pillar. And we see the Al-Quran. There are several surah such as Surah Al-Qasas, Al-A'raf, Al-An'am. It is emphasizes the principle in Islamic teaching that guide humankind the way to manage the earth and use all the resources of the earth to ensure the earth is protected for both the present and future generation of humankind. And then about method of analysis apply in this research. This research attempt to propose the holistic principle of Islamic sustainable development and use them to critically analyze the principle of National Action Plan of SDGs in Indonesia. In order to obtain consistent result, the methodology chosen is a qualitative descriptive research method by collecting secondary data through literature review. The study also applies the systematic literature review approach using NVIVO 12 software tools to obtain a comprehensive and structured literature review that identify the extent to which scholars talk about Islamic sustainable development. And how the result and discussion in the next slide, we found about principle of Islamic sustainable development. Prof. Muhammad Sukri Saleh proposed 7 principles consisting of all that is needed for comprehensive principle. That is tasawwur or worldview, abd, the Allah and Khalifatullah or actors, malakut, time scale, the pre-word, al-dunya, the present word, and then al-akhirah, the word hereafter, and then ibadah, worship, and finally madotilah, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we look at principle of national plan for SDGs in Indonesia, we can see that in the National Action Plan SDGs document, there is a special section that presents the principle of SDGs implementation, that the SDGs are carried out by prioritizing universal development principle, which means they are implemented not only by developing countries but also by developed countries for the advancement of all nations in the world. SDGs implementation must benefit all people, especially vulnerable group and disability. This principle is known as no one left behind. To implement the SDGs, Indonesia apply the principle of inclusion by involving for participation platform consisting of government and parliament, academici and experts, philanthropy and business people, civil society organization, and media with a focus on vulnerable group and people with disability. And the conclusion, Islamic sustainable development could hardly be found and is much to be desired. The concept of the United Nations created SDGs is accepted and blocked, while its principles are maintained as they are without redefining them according to Islam. Indonesia is adopting a common global principle based on universal development principle, used not only by developing countries but also by developed countries. Indonesia seems to exclude consideration on its position as Muslim majority country. That is my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.